Some critics argue that Gamergate was mostly or entirely right wing. Do you think that's accurate?
I was in it, and I'm definitely left wing. There was a lot of people that were left wing. The main issue is that there were a bunch of people that were right wing. They were very vocal, and they were definitely in there to make recruits. Again, people like Milo. There's a lot of right wing personality that latched into it and tried to steer the conversation. And to a certain extent, had some level of success into steering the conversation, making it into the culture war instead of what was happening in game journalism. And a lot of people are into the culture war. There's a lot of people that, especially the people that came later into the game, that didn't even know what the ethical violations were. They were just, oh, I hate SJW. Like, okay, but that has nothing to do with what we're discussing, though. There was the internet aristocrat that had that long rant before he left
Yeah.
saying, "You were my army. We were supposed to go against Tumblr." And like, why would we go against Tumblr? Tumblr is not covering video games. like, there's definitely a lot of people, and those people are from the right wing that latched on and tried to steer the conversation.
Well, most of the people who oppose the social justice warriors though are also left wing. I think it's there was
Depends on what you mean by opposing, in the sense that, again, I'm very liberal, and I think that some people in the liberal sphere are fucking lunatics. But I'm not at war with them. I'm like, uh, I think you're dumb, and that's it. That's not. When I talk about people that go against the SJW, I'm talking about people that are diametrically opposed ideologically. Like people that are talking about the moral decay of the Western civilization and how cultural Marxism is penetrating society and all the jazz that is just it's just dumb on the other side.
but to give the argument its due, I mean, the games
Go on.
journalists were it was all connected basically, right? I mean, it really was. The games journalists, even in the Gamers Are Dead articles, right? Devin Wilson's Gamers Are Dead articles. In his article, he makes a list of things that he doesn't want to see in video games ever again. He called it the rules of game development.
Yep.
And he says, "We no more sexy women, no
Yep.
more make the games less violent, make the games less sexist. Stop
Yep.
having so much sex appeal in games." Like he
Yep.
very clear, he lays out these are the rules that game developers should
Sure.
follow moving forward
And
in his article.
I will argue first of all that most of those points are not left or right. And second, that, as I said in this entire interview, that didn't happen and it will never happen. Like, people still make the games that they want to make, and he is just a dude that is ranting to the void. Nobody's listening. Like, all of this is very small. Like, game journalism has always been extremely small and kind of inconsequential. And at the time of Gamergate, it was probably at one of the lowest points before Gamergate when it comes to influencing the video game industry. Part of the rants that they had is probably also about how powerless they felt they were compared to what they were perceiving as their mission to be. And it still is because, again, I still see articles that say stuff like, oh, Vanillaware should change their art style to something that is more okay with my tastes. And like, no, they're not going to change. They sell their video games based on what the fan base wants, and this is what their fan base wants. Like the fan base of almost every decent sized software house is way, way bigger than the readership of the biggest game journalism website ever. Because most people that play video games do not read game journalism.
Scarlet, I know you mentioned you're more on the left. You want
Definitely.
to talk about your political views or philosophy?
Uh, yeah, we can go there. Like I am definitely a feminist. I am definitely um like I kind of define myself as a globalist. As in, for the most part, I come from Italy in the European Union. I would like to see the United States of Europe. I would like to see the world getting closer together instead of separated and like engaging in a whole bunch of rivalries. It's a bad time for it right now, considering what is happening around the world. But in general, I don't really care about, like, I care about rules, but I don't care about authority. I don't think there's certain people that are in a position that is different than the common folk, you know. I think that the economy could use some rebalance, not much in terms of redistribution, but more like take take Amazon for example. Amazon cannot be one of the most profitable companies with one of the richest CEOs in the world and also have some of the poorest employees. If the company is making money, some of that money needs to go to the people that work there, not just the shareholders. That's the general gist, I guess. I also feel like nobody should have any say on what consenting adults are doing in the bedroom.
Have your
In
polit
general,
God,
go, no, no, go.
have your politics changed since GamerGate or due to GamerGate?
So here's the thing. Um, I got gaming get started in 2014. In 2016, I moved to the United States. And Gamergate didn't change my politics. My politics are still the same, but it kind of gave me the first intimate window on how American politics is. Because seen from outside, you have a different perspective. Like I see how people are embattled on all the positions. Um, just to give you an example, Italy. Right now, we have Giorgia Meloni, who is a fascist. And I'm not concerned about what is happening in Italy to a certain extent, because I know that we all have common set of values when it comes to human life, when it comes to how society works for the most part. I know that nobody's going to remove um, public health care. I know that nobody's going to advocate for killing people. Mostly because we already been there in the 70s. We know what happens when a society is ready to kill each other. And here everything is way more violent, way more embattled. Everybody feel like they have enemies to eliminate instead of people that have a different opinion. And sometimes they are right, as in, because the other people are like, I will have it my way or I will start kill people, it becomes existential. But that's the only thing that changed, is that I was exposed to the level of urgency that everybody feels about things that sometimes are really small 2 years before coming here and living it.
Are you okay with gaming websites criticizing games through a political or religious lens, such as a Marxist, feminist, Christian, or other lens?
As long as they're open with it. Like, if you want to open a website that, oh, I am criticizing video games on a Christian lens, like, go ahead. I am borderline a Satanist, so I'm probably not going to be your audience. But you do you. Like, I'm probably going to read and laugh, but I think that you have a right to say whatever the fuck you want to say. It has less value to me based on the lens that you choose, and I'm sure that the opposite is true for other people. People will care more if they agree with you. To each his own.
What do you think of the framing of Gamergate as, or the reaction to it, being a moral panic?
It's I kind of agree in a certain sense, but the truth is that, again, that was my first window into how Americans really feel about politics. I feel like everybody's a moral panic around here. Like, people are so ready to take the smallest things and make them into an existential crisis. Like, things do not have to, like, I feel like people do not accept that things in the world do not have to go your way. Some things are just not for you. And it's okay. It's okay for other people have their own things that you don't like. You don't have to like everything.
Okay, what do you think of the framing of Gamergate as a battle within the left between those who believe in small L liberal democratic values and those who don't?
Nah, I don't think that is relevant. Like, I don't know. I I don't see a battle within the left that has anything to do with Gamergate. Uh all there was different ideas, maybe. There's also to be said that when it comes to like, let's frame it more like progressive and conservatives. Conservatives are people that want to keep the status quo, by definition. They want things like they are and they don't want them to change. Progressive, they want to change things. But changing things do not mean that we all agree on what the change should be. And that is symptomatic. And it's not a war between the left. That is something that has always happened because we don't necessarily agree on what is progress.
Thank you for watching another video segment from the people of Gamergate. I'm happy to announce that the book, The People of Gamergate Volume 1, is now available in both hardcover and Kindle formats. Please head over to gamergatebook.com or search for The People of Gamergate on Amazon to pick up your copy today. Thank you, and have a great day.